I put on silent. Even if meeting is going for 2 hours, 3 hours, I don't take calls. Because then that reduces the efficiency and effectiveness of that meeting. After I get free from the meeting, I make the calls. So that is for an individual to decide that how they want to use that.
The change is happening so fast. I'm always catching up. How does one keep up with this?
I think here this question, along with one very simple tool which is there for ages, it is called 80-20 management. So what it means is there are only 20% things which produce 80% results. And in both business and management, we should not be too much worried about perfection. If I am a rocket scientist, then I will be worried about perfection because that can make or break things. But if I am, talking of management, 80% is better than 100% perfection. Because by the time we go 100% perfection, something else would have come up and that would have become irrelevant. And now that the time gap between something coming up is so fast. So what 80-20 says that of all those things happening, if we see, we don't need to catch up with everything. Right? My requirement is spendy. I'm not bothered about thousands and thousands of apps there. I'm more interested in managing the way our people record expenses. So we use expenses, we use spendy, we use WhatsApp. So look at those 10-20 things which will create 80% effectiveness and don't bother about others.
Mr. Sharma, please tell us about this spendy. It's very important.
So,
tab of the expenses that we make.
It's a very simple app. So this is here, Spendy. I tap it, it opens.
How does it spell?
SPENDEE. So it has opened. Now there is a button in the center. I put this. So the amount comes up. I say I spent 100 rupees. Okay. And then it has next. So I say next. And then I say taxi. And then I say done.
So figure
and the category. Done.
Can it be shared within the family?
Can we download like that?
Share means? Yes, it is on iCloud.
Yeah, you can access iCloud.
So you can sync it between the devices.
You can share.
That is possible. So, something, now for us, we keep track of our time on a daily basis because that is our currency. We did not realize how much time our people were spending just on recording expenses.
I was thinking, will the tax department recognize this spendy recording self-assessment kind of thing?
No. So what
It's expenses,
what will be done, what we do now is that after this, at the end of the month, where our accounts are maintained, we'll send an email from this and then they will do it in Tally and have the vouchers.
Personal expense statement.
This
More like a personal.
But officially you have to
for IT department and other users, we may have to still go with their systems, but they will also soon come up. Like government of Karnataka has come up, they will also come up.
But that was more about sharing it within the.
Sometimes we try, where everybody can enter individually and put it together in the same format. Then it's easy to collate how much monthly expenses. The same way for the employees, if you're tracking the travel expenses, then each employee, instead of putting it at the end of the month and somebody collating the data, if it is entered in the same place, then it's easier.
We may need to check that. I'm not very sure about that.
There is an Apple, there's with family, within family you can share mostly, you can share your music, you can share all. So within family it is there, so maybe you can do it with the colleagues also. Managing today's generation at workplace is a real challenge. What can be done about this?
Let go.
I think so your first.
A lot of
How many children do you have?
banning the use of
And how far did you let them go?
Yes.
A lot of organizations are banning the use of personal emails during working hours or browsing for personal usage during working hours. So how effective is that?
Can I take that question from
Yeah.
the audience?
I would also like to
This
add
is being tracked actually in all organizations.
all organizations.
You have a web device by the IT, they even know it. How many hours you have spent with, and they block certain sites and
They even
everything.
know what sites you visit.
Obviously.
Now,
People
people
are
are
looking
looking for jobs while on the
No, they
roads of our
can't.
company.
They actually can't. If you're actually looking into that, there are firewalls. Even with the word which you type in, you still can't cross that. So there are a lot of things which he says which are there, which can be adopted by a company also to make cross checks without infringing on the privacy of people. Because you are on work, what you rightly said, you're supposed to give your 100%. So there are certain blocks which are being used by a company.
And there's still a flip side to it, Mr. Sharma. Let's say we've given to our employees, because they need to do R&D all the time through. We are into IT and research and development. The first project of this giving multiple services under one roof, e-governance, which you're talking about, Karnataka, was done in Andhra Bhairavi. So I know what e-governance under one roof is. So we have to do R&D all the time. The flip side of it is that the moment you give this access to the employees, they send your information out in no time, and there is no check on that. When physically you were doing this, you could check your employees. There was a guard standing outside, you could check them, but you can't check what they're sending out on this. So IPR of the company leaking out because of this is a high probability if you let them go.
So again, go back to the 3 information revolutions which I talked about.
Email sending also can be checked by the authority, the organization.
Personal email ID is how much can you check?
As a
They just
personal
send an
email ID.
attachment. When you give them Google to research, they can always open and send an
So,
attachment.
but on the server you can see, not come.
You can see on the server the history when you do Google.
But I would come back to the fact that too much policing does not work. I think if you have to trust your employees, you have to let them be, let go.
Don't trust. It's a
And it's only
financial
about,
loss.
their output.
It's a financial loss.
No, but if they are anyway doing sahangi panties, their results will show. Their outputs will suffer. And then you know that they are not worthy of being kept. So those who are doing actually conscientious about their work and they are focused, they anyway don't have time to do personal stuff. And those who are doing personal stuff anyway can't stay in the organization for too long. So I don't think one should get worried about it.
It can be having one by one.
Sanjay, I think
Yeah, there are no hard and fast rules, but generally I think it's always better to just let go.
My answer to that is that if you look back again at the 3 information revolutions which have happened and the way people in those days responded to that, we are responding in the same way. And that is not going to stop things happening. So, infringement on IPR or people not doing the right things for the company, there will be tools developed to deal with those things. But putting a control on the way things are done perhaps may not be the best tool to do that.
There is always something which is not done. Do I only feel like this? How can one handle this?
I think my personal experience also is that when I go to bed, I still have some 5-6 things in my mind going on. And that, should I do it now before sleeping or should I take it up next day? So I guess that it may be the situation with other people as well. Here also I think if you want to leverage the power of smartphone, there is something called Things. Okay, and Things is that as soon as you remember something which needs to be done,
It's like a notepad.
Yeah, it's your task list, notepad,
It's a planner.
planner. So you just enter into this. Okay. And again, depending on the way you prefer things, some people when they get up in the morning, they look at their day and what things need to be done. Go through the list and put show in today. So there is a button there that where you can tap and say show in today. So all those activities will go for your today's plan. Now all day you have that show in today. So today when I tap, these are the things for me to do.
That's wonderful. Because I think all of us
All
have
of
really
us
long
need
lists
that.
and we have to put what we have
So the managing those lists, I have found personally very useful this for me, and I have encouraged other team members also to start using it. There may be other tools like this, but
Things.
things. Sorry,
Reminders.
it will not give you reminders. For reminders, you may need to.
It just shows that it's a red.
Yeah, it will make red or something if you have not completed the task.
Yes. Interesting. This is very useful for time management.
So I think if at the end of the day you find there are 5-6 things which are not done, you have that for tomorrow and show in today when you get up in the morning. You can look at that first. And again, please don't forget 80-20. So all the time if we ask this question that whether these are the things which are going to make me 80% more effective or give me 80% more results. I give you a very personal example. When we started using WhatsApp, I joined some of my alumni group. Okay, and within days I realized that the kind of messages which are being posted there are completely irrelevant for me. And I quit. Because the mind space and time which it consumes, just as soon as that shows on WhatsApp, you tend to see that. And then your chain of thoughts happens, and then the time is lost. So it is very important to decide oneself that whether this is something for me. Is it relevant for me? And having little demarcation on personal and professional things also can help you.
Most of us here are baby boomers, like not very tech savvy of us. So could you help just let us know some other tools which can help us to be more effective?
I think what from my personal experience I have seen is, we talked about things and the list of things to do. Now, as a human being, we enjoy accomplishments. So when we look at that list, and there are 3 very easy things to do, our mind goes on to that and we try to finish that. Okay, list of 15 things, 3 done. But if we do some prioritization on that list, and if we divide them into something called important and urgent. This is not my tool. This is given by given in the book 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. So if you have a matrix where on the one side you have important and the other side urgent, and those divided into 2 boxes, low, high, low, high.
I think that people waste time figuring out what goes where.
Sorry?
I say half the time well spent
Yeah.
figuring out
It-
is it important or a priority and how
It actually it is not all the time. So for example, if you are starting it off today, and then again, it will depend from person to person. This tool may not be the best tool for everyone, but some of you may find it useful. So it may take some time in the beginning, but then you spend maybe once in a week or twice in a week just to look at the things and rearrange them. So most of the time what happens is that the important things which will not give immediate results but are very, very crucial for the success of the individual as well as organization are left out. Why? Because there is so much pressure of doing the urgent. And in this information age, that list of urgent keeps on growing. Because anyone can message, phone, email, WhatsApp, and then the mind goes on to what is at hand immediately. So the benefit of this tool is that we don't look away from things which are important and which will help us in next 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. And those things take more time. So that brings a little more discipline also, which as I do one-to-one coaching with people, I have found they have used it very well, and I have got personal feedback from them that some of the things have changed there. Another simple tool which I give to people when I start this exercise